What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to Show and Tech. So with the new lineup of iPhone 13s and as of yesterday, the Pixel 6 and Pixel 6 Pros that I've dropped, there are a lot of you out there that are buying new phones. That being said, we know that next year, the new phones are going to come out. The 14s or the 7 Pros are probably going to drop and you're going to want those too. And in order to get them, you're going to have to sell the phone that you currently have. And in order to get the best value when you go to sell that phone, you want to make sure that the battery on it works. Fortunately and unfortunately for iPhone users, there is an app within the iPhone that shows you the overall battery health or the battery capacity that your phone is capable of. Now, I say that it is fortunate because it gives you an accurate depiction of if you're someone that is taking care of your phone properly. And if you're buying a used iPhone, it's going to let you know that you're going to get the maximum value from that phone. It's unfortunate because of that exact reason. If you're going to go sell your iPhone, they're always going to ask you, what's your battery health at? And if you say, 87 or 84, they're probably not going to want to buy that phone. And for you young folks out there that don't understand what the battery health actually is, let's say in a perfect world, a new iPhone drops, it has a actual battery life of 10 hours screen on time. So you can use it for 10 hours a day before the battery dies. That's when the battery is at 100% health. So when you just bought it from the store. Now, if you've got one that only has 80% health versus that one that has 100% health, what that means is, yes, both of you can still charge your phones to 100%. It's still going to say 100% on the phone. However, this phone is going to last that full 10 hours still at 100%. And this phone is only going to last for 8 hours at 100%. So the overall percentages of your charge start to be less meaningful when you have a lower battery health. Now, what's important to remember is, or maybe you had no idea, Apple advertises that each of their batteries can survive a full 500 cycles of charging before it starts to affect the battery health. So you are able to charge it from 0 to 100% 500 times. So in order to keep your battery health at the highest percentage possible, you have to sort of do things that help to mitigate that cycling. So if you can find ways to charge your battery only 70% versus charging it 100% all the time, then that is going to reduce the amount of cycles that you're using on a day-to-day basis. So my tips for today on how to keep your battery health as high as possible are very, very simple. So tip number one is don't charge your battery overnight. The reason why you don't want to charge your phone overnight also has to do with the cycling, but more so has to do with how lithium-ion batteries work and how charging works. So by charging your phone overnight, let's say you go to bed at 10 p.m. And at the time of going to sleep, you put your phone on the charger at 63%. Okay. By about midnight, let's say 12:45, your phone's going to hit 100% charge. What's going to happen is it's going to stop feeding energy into the battery because it's full. However, the battery is going to continue to burn off charge. So it's going to drop from 100% down to, let's say, 99.7. And then because it's on the charger, it's going to fill up that 0.3 back to 100. And it's going to keep doing that cycle over and over and over again. Like we said, because you only have 500 full cycles from 0 to 100, overnight, you are racking up those percentages. Okay. So let's say over the course of charging your phone while you're asleep in one night, that adds 4% from the 100% cycle that you have. Over time, that's going to add up. Over the course of a year, over the course of 2 years, whatever it might be, that's definitely going to add up. So you don't want to charge your phone overnight. What I do is before I go to bed, or if let's say I know I'm going to bed at 10 o'clock, I'll throw my phone on the charger. Maybe it's at 30%, maybe it's at 45. I'll charge it all the way up to, maybe 75, 80. That way, when I wake up, I know that it's only going to be around 72 or 73 while I'm showering, while I'm eating, while I'm getting dressed, whatever. That's when I charge the phone up to the highest capacity that I can to ensure that it's going to last me all day. Tip number two, I keep my battery between a range of 20 and 95%. I know some people say it should be 20 and 90, but I say 20 and 95. The reason why I say that is because I've been doing it with my 12 Pro. So my 12 Pro is still at 100% battery health. Now I have the 13 Pro Max now, so I'm going to be using this phone probably a lot less. And because this is brand new, obviously this is at 100% battery health as well. But the point is, I'm going to be doing the same thing on the 13 Pro Max to ensure that I get to keep that amazing battery life. So keeping your phone between 20 and 95. And how do you do that? Well, it all depends on usage, But what I like to do is I also carry a portable battery charger. So when I'm going through my workday, if I know that I'm not going to be home to throw it into a wall charger or whatever it might be, and I notice that my battery is getting down, I'll just throw it on my portable charger for, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, just to bump it up a little bit and make sure that I don't drop anywhere below that 20%. So I have a range of about 75% that I play with all day. It reduces the overall amount of cycles that I'm doing and keeps me within that 500 cycle limit. And again, that's gonna have huge impacts when it comes to reselling my phone in order to get the 14. Finally, another thing that you should consider is the type of charger that you use. Now, I only use fast chargers. I have the Anchor Nano, I think it's a 20-watt charger. The reason why I like it is because it charges my phone faster. Some people will say don't use a fast charger all the time because that's going to have an overall effect on the capacity of your battery due to the nature of the fact that it's a higher wattage and a higher voltage. To me, it doesn't matter. My battery health is still at 100%, but I understand where people are coming from when they say that. And if you're worried about that fact, the type of charger that you use, and you want to charge your phone overnight still, then what I suggest is getting the slowest charger that you can find. So those old school bricks that came with like this guy here, the iPhone SE from back in the day, those little tiny super slow bricks that we all hate, use that to charge your phone overnight because it's a much slower charge. And battery capacities these days, especially on that iPhone 13 Pro Max, are so much bigger that it's going to take hours and hours to get a full charge from that smaller device. And if you're someone that only sleeps for 6 hours or whatever it might be, then that's probably a better bet for you versus using a fast charger. And that's going to have that's going to add great longevity to your battery over time. So hopefully those tips help you in keeping your battery health at 100%. I know that it's definitely helped me. And when I didn't follow those rules with my phones from back in the day, I mean, this one can only turn on for like 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes maximum. If I'm recording a video, it dies in about 6 or 7 minutes. So the battery health on this, if I'm not mistaken, is somewhere around 67 or 68%, and it just dies immediately. Again, it's a much older phone, yes. But as I was saying before, if you're someone that's planning to keep your phone for a long time, then you do need to make sure that you are finding ways to mitigate the overall battery deterioration that comes inherently on lithium ion batteries. So hopefully this video helped you out. If it did, feel free to leave a like or subscribe down low. Much love as always, throwing up 2 of them, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.